中向けるな。言うたのや。何度目や。
ごめんなさい。ねえ、逃げんでね。
父も母もぶっ壊れてたか。
Man, the Hawks clearly is like an absolute horrible life. Yeah, they don't, not only is they for some douchebag, but they're like living in a dump basically. There's trash everywhere and so on. Man, this is like this. He sleeps with trash? Like, what is wrong with his parents? Not only, I mean, not only is like a douche, but like, what was it? Like, he just lies and sleeps with the trash in the middle.
どうしよう、敬語。クラマが盗んで逃げて、そんで捕まっちゃったって。エンデバーに。エンデバー。
ヒーローはテレビの中にしか
He really loves Endeavour. The only thing he had in his life was the light of Endeavour. We're gonna get picked up by some government something. And yeah, they're like, let's pick up your kid here because you're clearly like a. But honestly, for him, it's probably better, even though he gets kind of. Even though they're gonna pick Hawk and put some kind of weird laboratory or whatever, right? It's probably better because his mom is cray cray. So, let's start with Baby Hawk, right? Of course, we have Hawks coming in there, right? His backstory. And, yeah, it was sad. I mean, his father was like a low-life criminal, right? Terrible parent. They were living in like garbage. One thing I say immediately, though, I was gonna point it out because it's very anime. Or I don't anime, but maybe it's like a Japanese TV thing. But this classic illustration, right, of people living in garbage, especially you see it with like you know Hikikamura or so on, right? They always have this thing where they used to have all these bags, right, of garbage. You know, it's like a plastic bag with garbage. That doesn't make much sense, you know, like because most people that actually live in garbage, like in that kind of horrible environment, right? They just throw it in the trash. Trust me, I know from experience. No, no, but it's like they just throw it on the ground or whatever. I mean, they just gonna build piles of trash, right? They just gonna put them in, you know, and just put them like that, right, in like a pile. They just take these kind of things, right, and they just throw it on the ground or in a corner or whatever, right? They usually will never ever have them actually, you know, packaged in a bag, right? So maybe it's like a sensitive, but I never get right onto the manga and animes. They had trash in his house, little bit spread around though, but mostly it was still in these bags, right? But in reality, it would be more like an actual trash pile, right? You know, like several trash piles, just trash in piles, not in actual like you know tied up garbage, right? But anyway, yeah, like the Hawks, of course, he lived that horrible life, right? Terrible parents. His mom was obviously a victim too, right? But still, like you know, she was also kind of crazy, right? So, and he, I guess, was like, yeah, just you know, watching TV. Similar to, of course, to Deku, right? You know, you see like All Might and Endeavour TV. You get like, oh my god, I want to be a hero. And then Endeavour was like, oh, did Endeavour kill my dad? Something awesome. Yeah, finally freezing, right? And like I said in the reaction part, I felt it interesting because usually when you see a character like Hawks, right? You think that, I mean, from the previous flashback, you think that, you know, all the government like kidnapped him and something, or kidnapped him, but in his first flashback last season, 2 years ago, you kind of felt that Hawk was like taken by the government from his parents to be trained and be the perfect soldier or whatever, right? That kind of backstory. But now this episode here, when his mom is like, I don't know, having a breakdown on the subway, you're like, you know, maybe the government should take the boy. Yeah, it's like maybe social services should take her son and make him a hero and train him in a weird lab. But still, it's like, yeah, it's probably better for him. So he definitely got a better deal, right? What that? I like the interesting that he had the kind of the core combination of his parents, right? So his father had some kind of feather power as well. Kind of had some in his arm instead. And his mom could fly his eyes, right? They left his 2 eyes. So that, I guess that's how his powers works. Because he can then, I guess, you know, levitate, kind of control his feathers, right? His wings or whatever, yeah. He got a kind of mental power over his body parts. He was like mom, right? But he also is, you know, a hawk, right? A flying guy, like his father. So he kind of got a combo there, right? So that's interesting, yeah. I mean, of course, we have the whole Endeavour family that's coming to, of course, Endeavour sooner, but, you know, the whole hot, fire and ice, right? You know, the classic, oh, I want to combine these quirks, right? But Hawk is also then a quirk combination, right? Like levitation or something, telekinetic plus, you know, bird powers. So you can get some interesting powers with that, definitely. We also, of course, saw him and Beast Jeanest driving around in the Batmobile. But it was sort of like Batman and Robin, and he's like, come on, Robin, let's go! Yeah. was leading into a lot of the normal people fighting, right? Trying to support gear, fighting before the heroes get there, right? And we saw, of course, Stain is back, right? You know, he went in and took a katana, right? But Stain is probably gonna help the heroes, right? Yeah, Stain's gonna be like, oh.
ヒーローとしてのエンデバーは死んだ。とは戦えない。本当にすまない。すまん。
お父さん、よかった。ようやく。
This is hard, man. This is like super sad. Papa and Dao having a breakdown. It's like, oh, bad father. Man, this is super hard to watch, man. Guys, Papa and Dao, man, crying crazy. God.
後悔も罪悪感もみんなあなたよりうんと抱えてる。
Finally, mom comes in.
後悔も罪悪
God.
みん
Surprise.
なあなたよりうんと抱えてる。
Oh, God, surprise in our face. Oh, God. It's just sad, man. I want to go crazy to see it.
うちのこと。
If I'm gonna talk about the son, yeah, happened to the boy. As I always say, right, best character in Academia, yeah, but this scene was great, man. He was trying it. This scene was terrible. But they also waited for a weird joke, yeah, how he shot up his door. He's like, that's trying! And then he closes the door and runs away. I don't want to deal with this! He's like, ah! Yeah. And his sister is like, come on, boy, yeah. So he's like, oh, no, shut yeah. She goes in there like, take, you know, shut up, boy, go in, talk to him. But yeah, the last thing was really, that was an emotional last minutes there, right? Like I said, though, I do wish that they had it, I don't know, earlier, but what I feel like a tease. Honestly, I feel like a tease, right? Because last episode ended with mom clearly coming into the door, right? Talk to her son, and then it ended. And this episode basically just had, you know, him crying, and then mom comes in and talks to him a little bit. And he gets a shock face. He's like, oh my god, my wife is here, right? They get a shock face, and then surprise Pikachu face, and then it ends. So yeah, it was a little teasing. But next episode, I guess it's gonna really even more so go into Dabi's honor. Because as you said in the reaction part, I was like, well, yeah, we kind of know, how he survived, and it's been kind of obvious to the viewer for a long time, right, that his son and so on. But we still don't know exactly how it happened, right, with the whole fire and so on. And we saw a flashback this episode here, when Dabi was like, I don't know, pulling his hair or something, or Toya then, right? So I guess he probably goes crazy by his, like, self-damage, probably, right? And he uses his firepower, he hurts him or something, so that's probably what's happening here, right? He's going crazy from that, like his skin's burnt or something. Probably. And but I think it's been interesting how, we saw, of course, mom trying to use her ice powers on him or something, right, in the flashback. And yeah, because what happens with mom later, right, with Shota. So it'll be interesting to see how maybe she started losing it there. I mean, it's a little bit weird retcon and think about it, right, in a sense, because we all have the classic, Endeavour, Todoroki, blah, 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 the whole family, burning Shota and that stuff, right? In their flashback, in the classic, season 2 kind of sad storyline, right? But eventually goes, and leaves to the mental hospital or whatever, right? But now then, we're gonna have another flashback. There's like, 5 years or 4 years before that, where she has like, I don't know, freezes her sons. So, yeah, now it's like, actually, we're gonna go to this flashback. If he's almost at the retcon here, oh, you think that was sad? Look at this over here. Yeah, like, no, okay, this gonna explain why this happened. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see next week how it's gonna, like, maybe, if it's really gonna merge in very well with other thing. Explain how they ended up something. But it was like really good to see when she entered there. And, yeah, come with the flowers to her husband there, right? To Endeavour. He's like all crying and short face there. Yeah, and now goes surprised Pikachu face there when his wife was in, definitely. That was a very powerful scene. But anyway, guys, please subscribe, slap the song, right? I'm not gonna react to Ito Uni, probably review it. I think Ito Uni said yesterday, right? I mean, imagine Ito Uni's anime to be kinda meh, as always. So I'm probably gonna do it. Just review it, probably, right? But yeah, Vash next Sting today, right? And I see you guys have a great day.